the day, ladies and gentlemen. Sit on down. Plenty of room in the deadliest Star Destroyer this galaxy has ever seen. We're going to get right into it today. Probably one of the most anticipated characters for Galaxy of Heroes in the history of the game. The Mandalorian kit reveal is live today, and it looks to be a simple yet extremely exciting kit. And he's going to be able to annihilate, insta-defeat enemies. Let's just get into it, guys. I'm not going to stall this out any longer. I'm extremely pumped for this. We've already seen Cara Dune's kit. We've seen Greef Karga's kit. Earlier today, we finally got details in regards to the unlocking process for these characters. They're all going to be marquee characters, long story short, which means so long as you're level 80 and you have some characters that can, any characters that can complete the various tiers of this event, you should get these characters for free at 3 stars. And of course, if you want higher stars, you got to pull out the big bucks. If you don't have the money, go get yourself a couple of pucks, kid. Let's get into this. Start breaking down this kit. Light side, we have a light side tag for this guy, but no Mando tag, no Mandalorian tag for this character, which makes me a little bit disappointed, but I think the rest of the kit makes up for it. Attacker, bounty hunter, and he's gonna be a scoundrel. Instantly defeats his targets with Disintegrate. If you love Darth Niles and his instant defeat capabilities, well, boy, oh boy, you're gonna be liking this character. Overwhelms his enemies with critical hits and revives at 100% health with Bounty Hunter's Resolve, very much like your boy Jango Fett and Boba Fett. Oh my gosh! So pumped to see this, man. Extremely pumped. He's coming out April 30th, by the way. There's been bits and pieces of news kind of spread out through by Capital Games, StarWars.com, EA Star Wars page. April 30th for this guy. Tomorrow, April 23rd, Cara Dune. April 27th, Greef Karga. Let's start reading the kit. Powerful Mandalorian bounty hunter who relies on critical hits to overwhelm his enemies. Before we read the kit, all this stuff, let's just go straight to the bottom. Really something interesting that they haven't quite done before in regards to granting an ability. This is where the instant defeat capability comes from Mando, but it's not like a typical special ability like your boy Nihilus, it seems like. It seems like once you satisfy conditional, when you have critical chance up or critical damage up, with this granted ability, Disintegrate with a cooldown of 8, it says, while the Mando has critical chance up or critical damage up, this ability instantly defeats the target enemy, which can't be evaded, and enemies defeated by this ability can't be revived. So we have to read the rest of the kit to see if we can make full picture of it, but I'm guessing, as it says here, each time the Mandalorian scores a critical hit while buffed, reduce the cooldowns of this ability by 1. So it still seems like a special ability to an extent, or maybe a baby ultimate ability. I guess this is a really weird way of putting it, but it starts on a cooldown of some sort, and then you can reduce it with the critical hits. But he needs to have critical chance of a critical damage up for this ability to instantly defeat a target enemy. I wanted to start off there because that's where it all comes down. As we know, Mobile Gamer likes to use the Mandalorian to shoot Jawas off his lawn. You're gonna get the same exact type of love with this kit. Swift Shot, the basic, very simple first 2 attacks here. Deal physical damage to a target enemy and gain critical chance up for 2 turns. That's why I wanted to read the Disintegration first. That critical chance up will make more sense. And on a critical hit, grants another random bounty hunter ally critical chance up for 2 turns. Who does not have it already? Pretty simple. Again, really all the magic is coming from the lower part of this kit. And then Transpierce, cooldown of 3. Deal physical damage to a target enemy and call another target bounty hunter ally to assist. Then the Mandalorian and the assisting ally gain critical damage up for 2 turns. Again, the critical damage up is extremely important. And again, seems like a fairly simple kit. He might be putting out some huge damage. Again, this is an attacker. The kits look simple. It's just important for him to constantly have opportunities to get the critical chance up, to get the critical damage up, so he can go start disintegrating enemies one by one. And then you just go into asset acquisition. I gotta say this, I'm a big fan of simple kits. So far the kit is simple. Simpler to kit usually means the defensive version of the character is gonna play a lot better. When there's all these abilities, sometimes the AI, the bot, whatever you want to call it, the computer doesn't handle the kits quite appropriately. It's kind of like TIE Fighter Pilot, very simple. It's not hard to mess up. Same thing as Sith Trooper, not hard to mess up. Leader ability, asset acquisition, a 2 Zeta character. There will be a Zeta on this leader ability. All Scoundrel allies have plus 20 speed. Always extra speed's always nice on a leadership ability. Not a lot, usually 30 is kind of the average granted through a leader ability. 35% tenacity and 30% critical chance. Pretty simple, nothing out of this world so far. When the Mandalorian's in the leader slot, not the ally slot, there's a contract active. So just like Greef Karga, Boss, Jango, there will be a contract, but again, only bounty hunter allies can contribute to the contract. So if you have Cara Dune on the team, she won't be able to help out. Not a bounty hunter. So while buff, score critical hits against enemies 20 times. So Hopefully not gonna be too difficult, because let's say you're gonna do Mando, Kara, and then Grief Cargo. Grief Cargo, remember, he calls in mass assist. Maybe you'll have Bosk on the team, and no AoE on this kid, unfortunately. It looks like it's only target abilities, which is gonna make this take a little bit of time, but the reward for completing this contract is for the rest of the battle, all bounty hunter allies have their payouts activated and gain the following. While a bounty hunter ally is attacking, they have plus 20% offense and health steal for each buffed ally. So hypothetically, you can have 100% offense, 100% health steal. The reward definitely makes up for the very simple leadership ability. So it all depends how long it's going to take to get this contract triggered. There are so many bounty hunter leads. Right now, the biggest debate is whether Bosk or Django leads the best bounty hunter lead. I think they both are great in their own regard. Who knows how Grief Karga and the Mandalorian are going to fit into the picture right here. Seems kind of nice, but let's start moving down the list and getting into this unique ability and then this Mandalorian Payout. A Zeta on Disciplined Bounty Hunter. So 2 Zeta, usually marquee characters are at most 2 Zetas. Each time the Mandalorian scores a critical hit, he gains 30% turn meter, and other bounty hunter allies gain half that amount. Turn meter, one of the biggest components of Galaxy of Heroes, is how fast are you. The faster you are generally means you're going to win the battle. Turn meter is probably one of the most powerful capabilities in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, because the more turns you take, the more damage you're going to do, and most likely the more opportunities you're going to have to win. That's why mods are so important, so you can have as fast of a character as possible. And at the start of the encounter, the Mandalorian has bounty hunters resolved until he's defeated. So bounty hunters resolved, not new. We know that Django Lee grants it through his contract. Django himself has it, whether or not he's leading. Same thing with Boba Fett. If they're defeated, so long as it's not, as long as they're not being annihilated or there's nothing preventing revives, they'll revive again at 100% health. So that's great. The Mandalorian's not going to be one-shotted. He can come back from the grave and still spread his fear, and at the same time, I love what he does. So he's not that scary. We love the work that he's doing over here at the Empire. And now, the Mandalorian Payout. So this payout, so let's say this is going to be triggered whether you trigger the contract on his lead, or let's say Bosk or Grief is leading. So long as you get that contract to go off, this payout will happen as well for the Mandalorian. So as long as there's some sort of contract being triggered, this is going to happen. So whenever the Mandalorian receives a reward from the contract, he also gains the following payout. Contracts are granted by certain bounty hunter leader abilities. If you've been playing the game for a while, you know how this works. I'm just trying to explain it for those that don't understand the bounty hunter faction. Each and every one of them has a special contract of some sort, and once this contract's completed, a reward is granted to everyone, and then individual bounty hunter payouts are triggered. Payout: grant the Mandalorian plus 50% critical damage and the special ability Disintegrate until the end of the battle. So baby, this is why you're gonna want to get this payout out as fast as possible, and why it's not a special ability. You can't just start the battle, oh, I got critical damage up, boom, boom, get off my lawn. You have to wait until you get the contract triggered. So you want to get this contract, or his payout, as fast as possible and Disintegrate while the Mandalorian has critical chance up or critical damage up. This ability instantly defeats a target enemy which can't be evaded. Enemies defeated by this ability can't be revived. And then we know each time the Mandalorian scores a critical hit while buffed, reduce the cooldown of this ability by 1. Oh, so it sounds like a lot of fun. So basically, once you pay this guy just wants to get paid. He's trying to make his way through the galaxy. He wants to get paid. Once he gets paid out, better hold on to your butts. If you're facing Mando, you better hope he's not being called in to assist a ton, because the more times he's getting called to assist, the greater chance he has to reduce the cooldowns of his ability. And keep in mind, when he has bounty hunters resolved, that's considered a buff on him. If I recall correctly, Gary, anything that's a green icon is considered a buff in this game, locked or not. So he's going to be going around town, he's going to be gunslinging and getting work done. So this is really cool. I mean, really, it seems like it's just a normal character, nothing too special. So you really have to just trigger his contract as fast as possible, which makes me believe, this is the conclusion I'm going to come to right now. I don't know if he is going to be an all-around type of viable character, because it seems like, I mean, we have to wait and see. Maybe he puts out crazy amounts of damage, and that's going to make up for him not being able to get that payout Disintegration. That's the biggest thing I'm saying. If he is not in a bounty hunter-led team, he might not be able to be as effective. And maybe that's the balancing factor for him. You can't put him in a Galactic Legends raid team and then use Rey's Sudden Whirlwind and the Mandalorian's Disintegrate. I think that's kind of the balancing act for this character. So if you're someone that was hoping the Mando was going to be some all-around viable character like Galactic Legends Rey, definitely not. Galactic Legends Rey is a whole different breed of character that works with any type of characters, basically. Mando, it seems like you need to have a bounty hunter lead, whether it's going to be Boss Django, Grief Karga, Mandalorian himself. The list goes on and on and on. There's a lot of fun bounty hunter stuff, bounty hunter combinations going on, but his whole entire kit comes through this payout right here. And the reason why I spent about 30 seconds explaining the payout, the only way to get this payout triggered is if you have a bounty hunter leader that has a contract for your team to complete, and then you get this ability granted to you. So that's kind of where we're sitting at with the Mandalorian. Looks to be a ton of fun. I'm wondering how this is going to work in the grand scheme of things. I mean, if we have a good bounty hunter team put together, we know Grief Karga looks fantastic. I wonder where, once Mando comes in the picture, we know bounty hunters are kind of like a third tier team in this game. Maybe they're going to start becoming a second tier team once Grief Karga, Mando comes into the picture. I don't want to start grasping for straws and saying we're going to get a top tier bounty hunter team, because it looks like there's a lot of nuances to this kit, but it looks to be a lot of fun at the bare minimum. Not every character has to be top tier, god tier broken, but if they're at least usable to maybe beat a Grievous team, maybe at least beat a Geonosian team. If bounty hunters can beat Geonosians consistently, that would be fantastic. I think that's a great way to look at this. And keep in mind as well, there's a very good chance we might see more Mandalorian characters down the road. Maybe getting IG-11, Queel, and of course, the thing that everyone's speculating about, maybe you're going to need all these brand new Mandalorian characters to lead up to the child. So ladies and gentlemen, that's gonna wrap up our video for today. I actually had to stall out my Grand Arena. I was just about to go live for Grand Arena right now, so be sure to check that out. We'll be streaming in the next 30 minutes or so if you want to check out some Grand Arena. But this was much more important news to put out in the meantime. Like if you did enjoy the video, comment down below on all your thoughts in regards to Mando, the legendary Mandalorian, and I'll talk to all you lovely people in the next video. Gary, can we get the outro again? See you guys later. Peace out, everyone.